I'm going to
You
share
are on
my
the big screen.
Okay. That's okay? Sounds
It's
good?
okay. We can see you. We can see your face. We can see your monitor. You can go ahead.
Okay, Alessandro. Hello, everyone. Congratulations for another edition of SAP Sidetrack in Rome, right? I'd like to say thank you for Alessandro for accepting my presentation. Thank you for having me here. Thanks also for TechEdge to supporting this event. It's very important to establish a community in local. And Italy has a strong SAP community, and then such kind of event is very important in this time. Okay? It's a pleasure to me to be part of this. This is my Sidetrack number 25. I have participated in a lot of events. This is already a pleasure to me share my knowledge. I hope you enjoy it. My name is Marcel Vilassa. I am a financial accounting consultant, and I am SAP trainer. I used to handle ECC, S4HANA. Okay. I am founder of Ogly Educational Experience, and I am active as a member in SAP community since 10 years, right? Let's see. The session will be a demonstration. Well, to answer a very, very common question here, including I was commenting with Alessandro before. I was asked this week, project manager was asking me why they could leave behind the ECC that was working very well into a conversion to S4HANA. Which value added we are going to have with this conversion? Because S4HANA is still a mystery for many people, because nobody wants to leave the comfort zone with ECC to turn to S4HANA. And then, in my perspective with financial accounting consultant, I will show you with Fiori the benefits to have an S4HANA running well in your company, right? This experience, I will talking about business partner. That's a very important topic. I'm talking about the new configuration of the SPI model. Okay, and we are going to see how Fiori is working with some transactions. I have chosen the main transactions, the most used transactions in financial accounting, the automatic payment. And because this is the title of the presentation, right? Okay, and so let's get in. As for HANA 1709, experience with automatic payment program in Fiori. Why should we convert to S4HANA? This is the main focus on this presentation. We are going to learn in a financial account perspective what is the importance of to have the Fiori mobility and the Fiori enjoyful transactions is now in APPs, the applications in Fiori. What can this application can improve and enhance the business performance? Let's see. For which kind of attendees this presentation for? Okay. Included, we have definitions, ABAPers. As we have custom payment methods, it's important to ABAPers to understand the custom payment methods and how can we custom information to send to the bank. Because this transaction exchange files between the company and the bank to have payment and collections. We are also impacting the tax calculation models. In this demonstration here, we are going to talking about the outgoing payments, and some country-specific solution has taxes deducted at the payments, and then tax calculation here is also important. And as I have commented before, we have the Fiori and the advantages of the Fiori's applications, right? And for accounting perspectives, we have here the clearing payments right here. And then we have a very huge impact using this automatic payment process. Okay? The most used transaction financials at 110, I will discuss here What this transaction is used for? This transaction has basically two tasks. Clear the opened vendor by logistics, the procurement, okay, procurement writes the purchase order, and financials create the invoice, and F110 in an automatic and massive way clear accounting perspective this vendor. Like this, we have a credit initially, we have the invoice, we have a credit vendor, we have VAT in expense, and we have tax to be collected here and paid afterwards. Then after this run, we have this movement. Okay, the amounts for vendor clearing, this is all financials. You can see only vendor side is only financials. We have treasury here, outgoing bank payments, and we have tax at the payment moment. Some countries do not use tax at the payment moment, but I put here just to have the hardest scenario, right? Here is another test, the second test of this transaction. We have data medium interchange and exchange data medium, right? We exchange files with banks to make payment orders. We clear in our database the invoice, and we send the order to the bank, and the bank will have the real payment and have the bank transfers. Okay? How does this transaction work? F110. And then currently, if you are talking about ECC or talking about S4HANA on-premise, when I mean on-premise, we are not using the user interface of Fiori, right? In on-premise, we have the transactions accessed and executed using six screens. And then it's hard to teach to end users to use this. In particular, if end users have a legacy, non-SAP legacy. And then we have status, parameters, and I'll show you in a further moment the demonstration here. And this is also the customizing of F110. F110 is the transactions to be executed, and here we do the customizing. Basically, SBZT is the main customizing of F110. If you are using S4HANA on-premise, we have two additional customizing. SY12, HBank, and WBC, right? Down here we have some transactions that help on the some customizing procedures. OBDA, OBDD, OBDG, OB32, and the T83 just to recover the bank statement. Let's get into the system here. I will access the SAP to demonstrate the as-is process. Just doing my login. Okay. F110 transaction code. Here you are. I have prepared here a formal process, just like this. Then we have here the status of the transaction for the status. The tab parameters, special action is needed. Additional logs to activate the reports of some issues that may occur. If you are using the classical print program to create the file to exchange to the bank, we need to fill this program here and create a variant inside. It means after run F110, we have a report inside to run and produce files. After this point, we are able to go to environment and DME, Data Media Exchange Administration. From this point, right now, we can download here or just to check DME display. I'm just checking here on my screen the file created to be sent to the bank. Okay, this was the main test today. You can use this activity in ECC or S4HANA on-premise. If I go to SBZT, this is the main customizing of all home banks and account IDs, current accounts, and so on. Payment methods as well. And here I am using the S4HANA on-premise 1709. We no longer have the first option. This is a good tip for the SAP consultants, financial consultants connected here, because this is a new situation regarding S/4HANA. People is complaining a lot because I am talking about here the enhancement for the usage of the SAP. But in case in customizing, we are talking customizing, the customizing is even harder. And then the customizing was harder than the current ECC edition, okay? SPI 12 H bank. Over here, I enter a company code, and here we have a different screen for the usual in SAP. We can only here customize the home bank. Before, we could customize the home bank and the account ID that is related to the current account. Here, I can only create, let's say, house bank is the level of the bank agency, and the account ID is the level of bank account. Over here, I have to fill the bank key. That's the key of bank master data. After this point, we have an additional customizing that we are going to use WebDimpro to finish the customizing. We have never had something like this before. This is brand new for S/4HANA and NWBC. When I access this transaction code, I will be driven to another screen here, like this. Note, this is user role. You have to ask to your basis to install NetU01 for your user. Maintain your user with SAP S cache manager. Click on this. Bank accounts. Manage bank accounts. Okay. Hitting here this button, new bank account, we will open the screen and then we will be able to create account IDs. Let's see here the existing account IDs created in the system. I will select, for example, 17990. It means what could be done only using the ECC platform. Right now, in S/4HANA, we have this additional WebDimpro platform, right? And then we have to fill all information, general data, such the bank key created before. We need to create, before this step, we need to create a bank key, the bank number here. In this tab, connectivity path, we are going to enter the account ID key. After this account ID key, we are able to get back to SBZP and complete all the steps to configure the automatic payment, right? Very important as well, here we have the general ledger bank account here. This is the main bank account. In SBZP, we are able to configure the clearing bank account, incoming or outgoing, right? Let's get back here to the on-premise. SBZP. After that point, we are able to select the company code here in the configuration of automatic payments. And here we have house banks. And at this point we have the account ID all settled, right? And the sub-account for the clearing account is also here. In another session, I explained the process, but the session focused on the usage of the Fiori. Okay, configurations there. What I have to comment here, over than 70% or 80% of the issues related to automatic payments is because master data. By the way, one could say almost all issues in SAP is because master data. And then this is a point to be enhanced in every migration process. Why master data? There is a big dependence of the automatic payments of master data, such as address, bank account configured, and rights assigned house bank details assigned, payment methods assigned, and right now in S/4HANA, we have no longer able to maintain the master data as ECC. If you try to enter SK01, you will direct it here to the business partner transaction code. It means all customers and vendors now are business partners. Business partners is not a new tool or a new master data in SAP. Business partners exist since 9 and 10 years with SSCM, SRM, CRM, and then business partner is well known by these models. But right now for financials, business partner is mandatory master data to be fixed, right? After we are going to use these two points. Very well. Here we have the main point of this presentation. How can we add value to business? We have in ECC the existing automatic payment program. We have seen in on-premise and similar to ECC before this is right. But how can you use this point to add value with S/4HANA? Because if you show that before the formal demonstration here to anybody that wants to install S/4HANA, nobody will be impressed because there were no added value there, right? The added value we are going to have by Fiori and mobility. This is the real value to business, okay? And using Fiori here, let me advance, okay? We can use all Fiori apps to replace the transaction, okay? Let's check here what is the app. You can find it here, Fiori library, okay, I was there. Fiori library. This is the link for Fiori library. Everyone can access this. This is a link provided by SAP. You can check here all applications. Currently, we have over than 10,000 applications available. Almost all transaction codes in SAP is covered by Fiori. Then it's quite possible here to have any implementation without losing any process. How can we search here? Some applications, some apps have the corresponding transaction code here at the description. For example, I'm trying to find the right app for F110 transaction code. When I type in here F110, I was directed to many of apps here available in Fiori. Okay, we have all information needed. This is a step that if you are in a customer and trying to install the Fiori in an existing S/4HANA, you have to be the best friend of the Fiori library. Well, let's get down here, just on the configuration. Going down. Here we have the correspondent business role, right? And the only thing that I need to install one of that role in my user. If your base does not want to install the standard one, they could create a custom business role and insert the object inside. Then, when you join the Fiori, you have your app already installed. Of course, in this case, the app is installed by business role, but we have a lot of cases here that we need to install the reports, to apply some notes, and it's a very irregular process, the application installation, right? Let's get back to presentation here. Fiori library. SU01 is the user transaction code. We have to maintain the transaction code with our business role. Okay. To enable the payment, we have to maintain the master data. Let's have a check on our business partner. This is new for many of people that is not used to run FSCM. Okay, let's enter FBL1N. We will display all vendors open items every invoice created in the system is here. Okay, we have only one invoice here. Double click. I have found my vendor. If I check my vendor here to check my information, such address, payment transactions of the company code. I will be directed to the DP transactions. Okay. You can see that we have a difference here. If you know the vendor master data transaction, you will see that we don't have, in the vendor master data, we don't have this DP row. But here in business partner transaction, we have. It means every number here of business partner can perform an additional role. We didn't have this before. And right now, I am checking here the business role related financial accounting. Then I am be able to check payment transactions. The bank account is okay. It means this master data is okay for received payments. Now I'm going to check the company code information, the information of the customer. Okay, I have my company code, vendors here, reconciliation, general ledger accounting, and important one down here, payment methods for bank transfer. Well, this vendor now is classified to be a good vendor to be paid automatically. Let me get back here. This is the open item transaction. After the moment, we can enter in Fiori. I will back here to SEC. The transaction to access Fiori is UI2 SLP, Fiori Launchpad. More information. Okay, we are in. This is the new user interface. We usually use only the front end SAP D, but right now Fiori is another option. Okay, it's all prepared to be used in mobility, smartphones, tablets, anything else. We could run this transaction code in home using our smartphone or in any part of the city, anything else. Since you have internet connection, you could access this perfectly well. Let's manage here by Fiori the automatic payment. Just to remind you, we did this process in 6 screens before. And here we are going to do in less screens, 2 screens only to perform the same process. This is a real gain in business process, right? Okay, I see I have 60 processes finished, 60 processes. Then now I am going to create a new run date, today date, identification, fit, ROM, 5-digit length, and then it's already there, okay. Posting dates, enter documents entered up to date, company code 1409, next payment date I can define tomorrow. If I am a user that run this transaction daily basis, I can set it to tomorrow. I will only check here my vendor number. Okay, got it. Get back to the Fiori app. My supplier is 1430001. Okay. I have here 3 selections as option. I had a screen only for this, and I have also additional log to activate the report if any issue occurred. Oops, I got back. I just enter again. I hit back without save. Customer, company code, next payment date, method T, bank transfer, supplier, Additional log yes. Now, this is the right thing to do. Save. Parameters have been saved. Now it's created, it was created here, the schedule button. When you hit the schedule, we have the two stages of the payment. Proposal or payment. Proposal is just a test, just to check if everything is good. And payment is the real processing, the real execution. We have accounting posting here. Let's run the proposal, schedule. Okay, one was scheduled. Let me refresh the screen. I will select, this is a selection button. One characteristic of Fiori that we don't have that tiny button that we used to have in ECC, because this is a platform for mobility. The button is big and obviously. Okay, schedule the payment. Payment has been scheduled and was accepted. I will get back to my list. I will check my open item list. Let's check the cleared items. At the cleared items, here is the invoice. The invoice now is cleared. We have here a clearing document here. Hitting this clearing document, we have the vendor clearing and the bank posters. Bank posters, outgoing posters, because this is credit. Okay? This demonstration that was an execution of F110 in Fiori. Just to complement this, I leave here two hints. The first one, in this case, we are using PMW. This is another transaction to create the custom our electronic data media exchange structures. But the system offers a standard one. Okay? The standard is the class operating program. All the reports start with FFO. Okay? If you are using this class operating program, it's not going to work in Fiori. This is a problem that we can solve applying the SAP nodes. You can apply the SAP node in order to fetch the information from classical print program to the application in Fiori, right? If you want, have a look on this transaction on the SAP node, right, to understand the best use of the Fiori application. And regarding S/4HANA on-premise, we have an additional transaction code to custom our structures of the payment methods. For example, PMW, payment method workbench, is very known. But right now we have a DNEX. We had before the DNE. Now we have DNEX with a lot of standard structure already implemented. For example, related to Brazil, we have almost all payment methods covered there. We don't need to custom anything. But in case here, we prefer use classical print program. Right? Questions?
Somebody from remote?
No question for the moment.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.